Let me tell you a story. You're standing in a grocery store. Aisle 7, cookies. You reach out and grab the chocolate chip. Classic move. But, pause, zoom in on that moment. Why did you reach for those? Because you like chocolate. Because your mom always bought those. Because you saw an ad this morning without realizing it. Who or what really made that choice? You see, this isn't just about cookies. This is about whether you are in control of your life, or if you're just along for the ride. This is the free will problem. Imagine you're a puppet, but the strings aren't held by a person. They're held by physics, biology, your past, the laws of the universe. This is the view called determinism. The idea that everything, from the Big Bang to your cookie craving, is part of an unbroken chain of cause and effect. Think of dominoes. One falls, then the next, then the next. Now imagine you are domino number 8 trillion. Did you really choose to fall? Or were you just next in line? Philosophers like Baron Dolbach believed free will is an illusion. He wrote, "Man's life is a line that nature commands him to describe upon the surface of the earth, without his ever being able to swerve from it, even for an instant." In other words, you're not driving the car. You're strapped in. The wheel doesn't even turn. But not everyone accepts that fate is sealed. Imagine a woman standing at a crossroads, literal or metaphorical. She sees 2 paths, one easy, one hard. And she chooses the hard one, not because she was forced to, not because the math said she would, but because she chose to. That's the dream of libertarian free will, not the political kind, the philosophical one. This view says, sure, there are influences, but we are more than machines. We have agency. We can act unpredictably, creatively, even irrationally, and that means something. But here's the problem. If your choices aren't caused by anything, not your past, your biology, your environment, then what are they caused by? Magic. Is randomness really freedom? It's like saying you flipped a coin and called it freedom because no one knew what it would land on. Free will without cause starts to look suspiciously like chaos. Enter compatibilism, the great philosophical compromise. This view says, yes, the universe is a web of causes, but within that web, there is room to move, room to choose. Think of a chess game. You can't move however you want. The rules exist. But within the rules, strategy is real. David Hume thought free will is simply this: the ability to act according to your motivations without being coerced. So if you want to eat the cookie and no one's forcing you, congrats, you're free. But critics say that's like calling a prisoner free because he wants to stay in his cell. If your wants are determined, are you truly free, or just a very obedient domino? In the 1980s, neuroscientist Benjamin Libet tried to put free will under the microscope. In his experiment, people were told, move your finger whenever you feel like it. Just note the exact moment you decide to move. Simple, right? But here's the twist. Libet's machine showed that the brain was already preparing to move before people became consciously aware of their decision. The signal came first. The "I've decided" came later. Like your brain already made the choice, and your conscious mind just rubber-stamped it afterward. Are we just narrating decisions after they've been made? Are we passengers in a car, pretending to hold the wheel? Later scientists have debated Libet's results, but the question he raised hasn't gone away. Does consciousness actually steer the ship, or does it just write the logbook? So, do we have free will? The universe seems deterministic. The brain might be ahead of us, and yet we feel responsible. We punish, we reward, we regret, we aspire. All of this assumes choice is real. So maybe free will is less about metaphysics and more about meaning. Maybe the real question isn't, am I free? But can I become more free, more so, less reactive, more in tune with what truly matters? The philosopher Harry Frankfurt had a beautiful idea. Freedom isn't just about doing what you want. It's about wanting what you want, to shape your desires, to choose your second nature. So maybe free will isn't a switch that's either on or off. Maybe it's a skill, a practice, something we build, one conscious decision at a time. Back in the grocery aisle, your hand hovers over the chocolate chip, you pause. This time, you ask yourself, why am I reaching for this? Maybe you put it back. Maybe you don't. But either way, that pause, that tiny moment of reflection, that might be the closest thing we have to free will. Thanks for listening. Stay curious, stay conscious, and keep philosophizing.